Hey, good evening, everybody. Steven from Familia Inc. This is part two of Craigslist charging fees and showing who the real ballers are out there. Now, not to make fun, I'm not out here, or should I say, I'm not making this video to make fun of anybody or to knock anybody. To each his own. Everybody has their way of, everybody has their reasons for doing whatever they're doing. But, like I stated in my first video, Craigslist, I've been using Craigslist since 2005. 2005 is pretty much, I worked at a construction company for 14 years, and they sold out, and pretty much there was 32 of us that you go in one day to work and they tell you that's it, the company's sold and you're on your own, you're out there. And I had a couple of grand in the bank, and I guess I did something right, because I put those couple of dollars I had in the bank, I put it to work. And again, I say, I'm not ashamed to say it, but with the help of Craigslist, because I was posting ads, or should I say I was putting ads on in the daily paper. The paper was like, forget about it. They I think they were charging me $96 every 15 days or whatever. It was $96. And the reason I was putting ads in the newspaper, that was for, believe it or not, there are people to this day that do not go on the internet. So those ads in the paper were for those particular, targeting those particular people that did not deal with the internet at all. But Craigslist was my next way of letting the community in the area know what services I offered. No lie, I'll say it again. And just keep this in mind, everybody. I'm not bragging. I just want you guys to get an idea, a good general idea of how things went for me. From going in one day and being told that's it, you got no more work, the company got sold, you're out, asked out, employment, should I say, what was that? Unemployment or whatever, and that's just a fraction of what I was getting paid a week. So, I mean, it helped. I got kids, I got a home that I'm paying a mortgage on, blase. But with the help of Craigslist, from one truck to a small fleet over the years, it didn't happen over the night. It took a while, but when I tell you, Craigslist put me on top. And then I move out to Wilkes-Barre, and I blew up in this area. And listen, when I first opened up shop over in on 309 or whatever, there were a handful of people, locals, that I guess they felt I was stepping on their toes or whatever, because I started getting block calls. Are you guys legal to be in the country? Blase, and all racist shit, and to this day, I guess there are local people that are pissed off at me that I'm from out of state, came into their neck of the woods, did something that they were doing and did it better. Okay? And to this day, I still get knuckleheads or whatever talking crap about me, and to each his own. My father always said, as long as people are talking about you, you're doing something right, It's when people stop talking about you is when you should start worrying, okay? But as for Craigslist charging a fee, I can't complain. I won't complain. I won't bitch, because Craigslist has been very good to me. I stopped posting, or should I say, I stopped putting ads in the newspaper. That was like 96 every 15 days. That, my opinion, wasn't really bringing in crap. But Craigslist alone I was making a killing out there. I've never counted how many calls I get a day. I'm just gonna throw numbers, a rough ideal. I'm saying like 40 calls a day I'm getting. Okay, my phone starts ringing early in the morning and keeps going till late in the afternoon, like around, I don't know, 7, 8 o'clock. The phone starts to die, the ringing, I should say. So I know I'm doing good. Okay, ever since, I don't know what's today's date, the 23rd, 22nd, 23rd. Craigslist started charging $15 on the 15th. And again, I'm not making fun of anybody, but there were a bunch of guys out there posting back to back, and so-called contractor, blah, blah, blah. Come the 15th, and Craigslist is charging a $5 fee. Nobody. There might be, I think it took like maybe a few days after that, I think I noticed 2 other people posted or whatsoever. So I mean, if you're out there, and listen, I'm gonna call. I have one knucklehead talking about, oh, La Familia, he's not no legit guy, he's a gypsy, blah blah blah. Well, let me say this. I'm registered with the state of Pennsylvania. I don't know how to check it, but you go put La Familia on one of them state agencies or whatever. I registered my name with the state. I incorporated that name. I paid the fees. I got the paperwork. That I ain't got to prove shit to nobody, but I registered with the state as a general contractor. Okay. I got commercial insurance. I'm covered up to $1 million with Progressive Commercial. Okay, my trucks, that one particular knucklehead, oh, his trucks are illegal, blase, blase. Look on the bottom of my doors, asshole. Okay, there are DOT numbers there, okay? And they've been there for so many years. I'm not registered with the PUC, and I'm not gonna register with the PUC. I don't use my trucks in moving services. I use my trucks for junk removal only. When I do moving jobs, I only offer my guys. You don't have to have PUC. You don't have to be registered with them if you're just offering your guys, okay? When people ask me, when they call me up for moving services, I tell them they have to rent their own truck. I'm giving you the manpower. You rent your own truck. So that's for the knucklehead who's up my ass, making these comments about me not being legal, blase, blase. And as for your comment about my equipment being junk, you go buy a handful of U-Haul trucks and you go spend that money on insurance, and then talk to me about your stuff is junk, blah, blah, blah. Please. You know what I mean? I won't even give... Today was... This little comment that I just made will be the last time I even use reference to you, because you ain't worth my time. But for those guys that are out there, that were out there before Craigslist started charging a fee, and you were posting that you can do this and you can do that, if reality, if you were getting business and you were doing good, $5? You're bitching about $5? Are you kidding me? And I mean, I don't know anybody's financial situation, so I can't really speak on that. But as I stated, over these years, Craigslist has been so good to me that I can't bitch, you know? So the first day that they started charging, yes, I spent $200. And then I notice now those ads are only lasting for like 2 weeks or whatever, and then they scrap them or whatever. You got to repost or whatsoever. So now what I've been doing is $20 a day. $20 a day, $100 a week. I'm happy. I get jobs, okay, and it's only fair. You know what I mean? If a company such as Craigslist, if they are helping you out, if you are getting leads, if you are getting business because of that particular website, come on, couple of dollars. I mean, $5. I guess I know if you're used to posting a bunch of ads, yes, it's going to add up and it may hurt the pocket, blase, blase, but it's worth it. You know what I mean? I find it hard to believe because so many, I had so many, there's like a handful, I'm not going to mention their names. They were always talking shit about me. Or you're posting back to back and you can't do this or blase, blase. And it just seems now because of a couple of dollars that they're charging per ad, now so-called contractors don't got a couple of dollars to post their ads or whatever. And I just, again, this fee deal, Craigslist charging a fee, it's showing who the real ballers are. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to put anybody down. That's my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion. The same way you guys have your opinion about me, I got opinions about a handful of people out there that were out there calling themselves contractor this and that they could do this, and they're doing like 100 jobs. I'm using 100 as an example. We're doing jobs left and right. Well, pay the goddamn $5. Stop bitching, it's just funny, I mean, ever since, and I like it. I sure as hell I like it now, because this fee deal is weeding out those guys that I guess I don't know. I try again. Normally, when I get calls, I try to keep the fees, let's say, at a respectable minimum. Some services I charge different for, depending on what the customer is expecting. I charge differently. But I'm going to use as an example junk removal. Again, I come up with an ideal of what the weight is of the crap that they loaded, what I'm paying my guys, the fuel, and I'll throw that customer a lump sum figure. Then you got a couple of people out there that I guess don't have the overhead that I got, which is cool. I mean, more power to you. But I've heard the stories from people that they've paid $25 to $50 for a truckload of crap, and I'm saying, wow, how the hell are you doing it? The landfill has a minimum. The one in Hanover, I think their minimum is like $78. The landfill in Taylor, I think their minimum is like $110 a ton or whatever. So you get somebody. When I get a customer that's telling me they paid $50 for a truckload of crap, the first thing I'm thinking is that person is dumping illegally somewhere, and hey, you do what you gotta do. I don't want to have that problem of my guys getting caught dumping illegally and getting hit with a fine. Not only a fine, but and then you get a reputation. The customer gets I think some of these people are going through the trash or whatever, and if they find some kind of paperwork, could you imagine that your customer now gets I don't know, I guess they get hit with a fine, and it'll come back to you. I paid this guy X amount of money to take the crap to the landfill or whatever, and so that's the kind of shit I stay away from. My stuff is being done legally, okay? We go to, depending in the area that we're getting the junk from. If it's in Wilkes-Barre, if the job is in Wilkes-Barre, we'll go to Hanover. If the job is towards anywhere near Scranton or whatever, we go to Alliance, which is over there in Taylor, the landfill. Anything further, like in the Poconos, we'll go to the one in Dunmore. So I mean, I do shit legit. and I gotta, like, the way I've been